Yes, I'm Lou Bussey, and I'm chair of the 912 Project Colorado Coalition.
So tell us a little bit about the 912 project here in Colorado. How many people are involved, and what are you guys about?
We have 24 member groups scattered throughout Colorado, and we have over 10,000 members. Our largest group is the Western Slope Conservative Alliance that has over 3,500 members. So the Western Slope, with the groups on that side, have almost half our membership. It's amazing. The other thing I've noticed when you combine the 912 with the Tea Party groups is that the largest amount of new grassroots groups are in Betsy Markey's district, CD4, Jared Polis's district, CD2, and John Salazar's district, CD3. So that's also where we're seeing the polling that, we're having an impact and might actually be able to unseat those current congressmen and women.
Coming down from the federal level to the state level, I know you and your group are really active in following state legislation. Of course, the legislature just adjourned a couple weeks ago. Tell us a little bit about the experience of keeping your group informed, some of the major issues you focused on, and kind of influence you had there. Probably
our biggest impact, needless to say, with the majorities that the Democrats had in both houses, or both chambers, we had a lot of defeats this year. We fought hard, especially the Dirty Dozen and some other things, but we had a victory that we really savored, and it kind of kept us going to the end of the session. And that was that the draft elections bill, which we called the voter fraud bill, was leaked to one of our 912 members. And we got that one evening, got it posted and sent out, said, oh, this is not the way to go. And so then we decided on a plan. The first thing we decided to do is our membership and all of the grassroots groups that we coordinate with, first thing we did was contact the clerks and recorders and say, we don't like this and why. We had information because we had the draft bill, so we had talking points. And so we made calls and emails to all of them, which they're not used to getting lots of calls from voters, so that was a shocker. So within a few days, they put out a letter saying, from their organization, saying they were opposed to the bill. Well, that helped us a lot, so then we say, okay, now we're going to focus our attention on Secretary of State, which we did. And I tracked, we were doing another project at the same time. We had 9,000 people do the other project in the same week that we were doing the calls to and emails to Barry Busher's office. And so about the same number probably were coming into there because there were busy signals all the time. So then when there were busy signals, we found his Facebook page. We found his campaign phone number.
Make sure they hear you.
Yep, so we kept trying. And so then within a few days, then the bill was pulled completely and never introduced. And that was one of the things we decided. We were being advised by some of the people that are actually in office that, well, this is what you can do once it's introduced. You can try this, and we're like, no, we're not waiting till it's introduced. We're going to fight it now. And that's how we defeated it, because if it had gotten introduced, it would have gone through like all those other things.
So here we are. We're at the State Assembly. We've seen that there are a lot of first-time delegates, a lot of them representing the 912 project. We have a lot of new grassroots enthusiasm. How do you and your organization here in the last few seconds, how do we keep them interested, engaged, active, and influential going into that?
Well, the next things we're going to be asking people to do is start calling and walking their precincts for the candidates and also issues that are important, reminding people about the health care bill and what's in it. We're thinking, we haven't decided yet, but we're thinking about taking the health care bill in a wagon as you walk your precincts and showing them pages out of the wagon.
It's a good workout. And Lou Bussey from the 912 Project, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Hi, we're with Representative BJ Nickel. We're at the Republican State Assembly, right on your home turf. What is it like to have all these wonderful delegates and alternates come here to Loveland?
To me, it's very exciting. It's nice to have the convention up in northern Colorado again. It's been a number of years since we have had one here. I think 1976 was the last time we had a Republican convention up in northern Colorado. So we have a great event center here, the Budweiser Event Center, and I think it's accommodating things quite well.
One of the younger, newer legislators we have here on the Republican side of the Capitol. What's it been like for the first couple of years?
Well, it's been quite a ride and very interesting, very, very partisan at times, and not so much at other times. bipartisan support. Other times, very partisan bickering on some of them too. The Taxpayer Transparency Act was quite an interesting bill to try to get passed in the legislature, and that was fought at every turn, but largely by the governor at that time. Now they seem to be coming on board, and they're actually wanting to work with me to make the website better. So anyway, I'm pleased with getting some of my own things passed, and it's been a good experience to get to work in the legislature.
We have a lot of new people involved in the process here as delegates and alternates. It's pretty exciting. What is your message to them to keep them interested and engaged and focused and effective between now and November?
I've been trying to encourage people to really get involved in a person's campaign. I think that's the best way for them to be interested, is to find somebody that they really believe in, get behind them, go and help them, and get very involved in their campaign, help them raise money, help them go do the parade scene, and I think it keeps them just very interested and involved if they help a particular candidate.
Representative B.J. Nickel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Ben.
We're here with Bob Schaefer. He's the chairman of the State Board of Education. I think a lot of people out there watching this might not know much about the State Board of Education. Can you give like the 60, 90-second version of what the State Board of Education does?
Sure. The State Board of Education is it's an elected body, 7 members elected from congressional districts. It oversees the operation of the education system in the state of Colorado public schools. It's kind of an executive. It's an odd constitutional entity. It operates as an executive branch agency, but with elected members. We appoint the Commissioner of Education. It's the one agency head that is not appointed by the governor, largest agency in state government. And the State Board oversees the Colorado Department of Education and teachers' licenses, charter school appeals, the distribution of the School Finance Act. We don't do policy, we don't get to make laws, the legislature does that, but the State Board implements the laws passed by the legislature as they relate to public schools in the state.
And one of the few entities in Colorado that's run by Republicans, right?
That's right. It's state government. I'm the only Republican chairman of anything.
Hopefully that'll change. So you've been to a lot of these. You're a political veteran. How would you rate this as far as the level of grassroots involvement and enthusiasm at the 2010?
There's a lot of new people here who have never been to a state assembly before, and they're not just here observing. The new people are actually leading on the floor, in my opinion. When you look at the number of new people who are leading campaigns, who are leading some of the floor movements that are taking place here in favor of one candidate or another, it's pretty exciting to see so many new people in Colorado playing a major role in a Republican state assembly.
So Bob Schaefer gets up at the podium and gets 30 seconds to talk to this crowd of new delegates and say what's the motivational message to keep these people involved and on track for the election?
I think the motivational message is one of focused energy. In the past 10 years, we really had to try to persuade voters to imagine what would happen if left-wing leaders took over the governor's office, both houses of the legislature, president's office, both houses of the Congress and the courts. Well, that's not a theory today. It is reality. So it's not a sense of just imagining how bad things can get and how quickly this nation can leap towards socialism. It's all around us now. You can see it. So now's the time not to stop some bad thing from happening, but to reverse the bad things which are sinking the country today.
And from a more of a personal standpoint, how is it being in one of these and not really being the center of attention or candidate, or kind of, is it a little more laid back for you?
There's no, it is a lot laid back compared to 2 years ago. There's no doubt. I wish I was the United States Senator right now and wish I'd have won that election 2 years ago, but but that's swinging after the bell, I guess. And so for me today, I went to my precinct caucus, got elected to be a delegate here, and I'm here going to cast some votes here shortly. And I'm enjoying it a lot.
Any chance of hearing from Bob Schaefer again in the future as far as political aspirations?
Yeah, in about 20 minutes, I'm going to advance Scott Gessler's aspirations to be Secretary of State.
Good answer. Thanks, Bob.